1968 New York Jets scored the second most points in the AFL, 29.9 per game. They only gave up 20 points per game. That 10-point spread is a great formula for success. In Week 4 against the Chargers, the Jets drew the largest crowd in AFL history. It was an exciting Saturday night game, and the Chargers gave the Jets everything they had. They had a 20-16 lead with 5 minutes remaining. Running back Emerson Boozer really struggled as he ran 24 times for only 35 yards. But the last yard gave the Jets a 23-20 lead with only 1 minute remaining. Joe Namath didn't throw a touchdown pass in Week 4 through Week 9, yet the Jets only lost one game in that span. The big knock on Namath's career is that he threw 47 more interceptions than touchdowns. As American radio broadcaster Paul Harvey was fond of saying, "Do you want the statistics or do you want the facts?" The Jets scored 13 rushing touchdowns in those 6 games, 10 of which were from 5 yards or less. In today's game, at least half of those rushing touchdowns would be passing touchdowns. Namath didn't care about personal statistics. He just wanted to win. The Jets' 22 rushing touchdowns were number 1 in the league, and Namath still made first-team All-Pro, as his 3,147 passing yards were the third most in the AFL, and his 3 fourth-quarter comebacks and 3 game-winning drives were the most in the AFL. Flanker Don Maynard was a game breaker. His 22.8 yards per catch led the AFL, as did his 99.8 receiving yards per game. He had 10 receiving touchdowns and made second-team All-Pro. When he retired after the 1973 season, he led pro football with 633 career receptions, as well as with 11,834 receiving yards. His 88 receiving touchdowns was second only to Don Hudson. Left end George Sauer Jr. made first-team All-Pro with 66 catches and 1,141 receiving yards. It was the third straight year he made either first or second-team All-Pro. Tight end Pete Lammons caught 32 passes for 400 yards. It was a load to bring down. Running back Emerson Boozer was a 1968 All-Star, yet he only had 542 scrimmage yards and 5 touchdowns. He had 7 other seasons in which he had more than 542 scrimmage yards, but he didn't make the All-Star or Pro Bowl teams in any of those years. Fullback Matt Snell was the 1964 AFL Rookie of the Year. In 1968, his 747 rushing yards were the sixth most in the AFL, and he added 7 total touchdowns. In Super Bowl III, he rushed for a then record 121 yards and probably should have been named the game's MVP. Billy Joe was 6'2", 236 pounds of fury. In 1963, he was the Sporting News AFL Rookie of the Year as a Bronco. The Jets signed him as a free agent after being released by the Dolphins in 1967. In 1965, he was traded even up for another huge fullback, 6'3", 251-pounder Cookie Gilchrist. Number 31, Bill Mathis, was the Jets' short yardage specialist, as evidenced by his 2.8 yards per carry on 74 rushes, with 5 rushing touchdowns. "6'4", 275-pound left tackle Winston Hill was a 1963 11th-round NFL draft pick by the Colts. They released him in 1963 and he signed with New York. By 1968, he was an AFL All-Star for the third time and ended up with 8 All-Star/Pro Bowl selections in his Hall of Fame career. Right guard Dave Herman was selected by New York in the 1963 AFL's 27th round as a future choice, and by the New York Giants in the NFL's 8th round. He signed with the former because they offered $100 more. He was a 1968 AFL All-Star and was switched to right tackle in the 1968 AFL Championship game opposite Ike Lassiter, who had 11.5 sacks. In the Super Bowl that followed, he played opposite 6'7", 295-pound Bubba Smith, who made second-team All-Pro in 1968. Herman said he thought that Bubba weighed 310 pounds in that game, and except for 1 sack that Herman gave up, Herman kept him from getting any more tackles in the game. In Week 7 at Houston, the Oilers had a 1-point lead with 4 minutes remaining. Emerson Boozer scooted for 15 yards, then Matt Snell ran through the same hole that Boozer had with equal success. With 50 seconds left, Matt Snell's run propelled the Jets into a division lead that they wouldn't relinquish. The Jets' defense gave up the fewest total yards in the AFL and the fewest first downs. Their defensive line coach was Buddy Ryan, the famous defensive coordinator of the 1985 Chicago Bears Super Bowl championship team. Jerry Philbin was the centerpiece of a super solid defensive unit. Philbin made first-team All-Pro in 1968 at defensive end with a career-high 14 quarterback sacks. Defensive tackle Big Bad John Elliott, as he was nicknamed, made second-team All-Pro with 10 quarterback sacks. Defensive end Verlon Biggs made the All-Star team in 1968 after being named the outstanding defensive player in the AFL All-Star game following the 1966 season. Outside linebacker Larry Grantham was only 6 foot, 206 pounds, yet he made second-team All-Pro. It was the 8th time in his 13-year career that he made first or second-team All-Pro. How he's not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame is beyond me. ProFootballReference.com ranks him as the 13th best outside linebacker of all time, ahead of 7 other Hall of Famers. Middle linebacker Al Atkinson was also an AFL All-Star in 1968. Teammate Jim Hudson nicknamed him Hombre due to his toughness. Outside linebacker Ralph Baker's 1968 season was perhaps the best of his 11-year career. Jets defense allowed the second fewest passing yards and intercepted the second most passes. In Week 11 at San Diego, Chargers hotshot quarterback John Hadl was only 19 of 46 passing for 190 yards and 4 interceptions in a 37-15 Jets win. Cornerback Johnny Sample was the Colts' 1958 7th-round draft choice, and he was an NFL champion as a rookie. In 1965, he intercepted 6 passes in 13 games started, yet the Redskins released him. The Jets signed him as a free agent, and he intercepted 7 passes for them in 1968. He retired after the season at age 32 as a 2-time league champion. Fellow cornerback Randy Beverly was signed by the Jets in 1966 as an undrafted free agent. He played on the Jets taxi squad as well as the Jersey Jets of the Atlantic Coast Football League in 1966. He intercepted 4 passes for 127 return yards and 1 touchdown. Free safety Cornell Gordon was selected by the Jets in the 1964 23rd round as a future choice, and he had 2 interceptions on the season. The University of Texas's Jim Hudson was a 1965 free agent signee. This strong safety had 5 interceptions and made second-team All-Pro in 1968. Against Buffalo in Week 9, Jim Turner booted 6 field goals in a 25-21 Jets win. He kicked 34 in 1968 for a pro football record. His 145 points scored are the most in a single AFL season for strictly kickers.